exercise is one that I see misperformed frequently or that I get a lot of questions about. So we're gonna start with a Bulgarian split squat. So here's an easy way to do it on the bench. You can do them weighted. I always recommend starting out at just body weight until you get the form correct. Make sure that you have proper range of motion and then add weight as you feel more comfortable. So you can do it a couple different ways. I think that you get better balance if you come up on your toe. Once you get a little bit stronger, you can lay flat foot. Here we drive the knee behind you, keeping your front knee on top of your ankle. We're never treading over here because that's gonna lead to injuries, right? So keeping this on top of your ankle, drop this knee behind you, squeezing your glutes all the way up.
Are you touching your knee to the floor or no?
No.
So she's got the weight in the opposite hand of the leg that she's lunging.
Better for balance. I've seen people do it with both hands too, or doing it with a barbell across your back.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about glute bridges. So there are a couple different kind of foot placements that you can use for glute bridges, but also where you place the bar. So something we'll hear really commonly is that you feel your quads taking over when it is that you're doing glute bridges. And so one of the reasons for this could be that the bar is sitting too low or too high on your hips. So when I go to do a glute bridge, right, I make sure that it's just kind of in the fold, right? And when I bridge up, I like to have the bar a little bit lower down. So I don't have it, my belly button, I'm wearing a waist trainer, but it would be like right about here. And my feet are gonna be wide and a little bit closer to my body. So a common foot stance that you'll see is like if I put my feet too far away and I try to do it this way, that's gonna be more of my hamstring, less of my glutes. And when you get tired too, I can kind of feel my quads already right here. Or if you have your feet too close to your body and you try to glute bridge, and all of a sudden my whole body's on the bench and I don't have a range of motion, that's definitely gonna be more of my quad because you're at way more of an angle there. So I would say try to place the bar like right over the top of, like right over your glutes realistically when you're doing a glute bridge. So here. The other thing, if you're new to glute bridges and you're still not feeling full activation, is you can take a band, handy dandy band here, put it over your knees, and then something I've been programming for people too, who I hear this a lot from, because glute bridge you should definitely feel in your glutes, is I'll kind of sit here and you can kind of wake up your glutes by doing some abductions first, maybe just like 15 or 20. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna press my knees out. I'm gonna get my bar ready, glute bridge up, really press out with those knees.
Ta-da! All right, so now we're gonna talk about hyperextensions. This is actually like a glute focus. A lot of our programs say it is a glute focused back extension, but this machine that everybody knows and loves, we're gonna talk today just about the glute form, how we're going to keep this glute activation and not in your lower back, and you'll still get a little stretch in your hamstrings here. So I always think neutral spine, feet close together and straight on, and you want your ankles touching the back pad here. You're gonna come all the way down for your glute stretch at the bottom, keeping your spine neutral and squeezing up for your glutes. So you can see when my back comes up, I'm not arching here or hyperextending, right? My back stays neutral like I'm at a 45-degree angle from the ground. And then when we get a little more advanced, I'll have some people, like you can add weight to it. I prefer the band because I think it gets a little better resistance on both directions.
So I really love programming this exercise because I feel like you can get a little bit more stretch, a little bit more range of motion than you can with like a sumo deadlift or doing this with like a smooth machine or something. So the first thing I do when I'm setting up is I put my feet wide and I'm kind of squeezing my heels together. I'm making my core tight. I'm pulling my shoulders back and I can feel my glutes right now before I even pick up the weight. So my toes are turned out, I'm wide stance, my core is tight, and again, my glutes are activated right now. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach down, I'm gonna pick up my dumbbell. Normally too, I would use a significantly heavier dumbbell. These are just all we've got at the prep center. But again, push yourself on these. Don't be afraid to pick up 40, 50-pound dumbbell if you're able to. Make sure you're wearing a belt. I'm currently wearing a waist trainer or a weight belt, or both is gonna be great to help make sure we keep that tight waistline. But what I'm gonna do, again, shoulders back, I'm gonna push my knees out, set my hips back, my toes, I can literally pick up my toes and wiggle them if I want to. Squat down as deep as I can. Usually a big dumbbell will touch the floor or just barely tap it. You come up, squeeze, back down.
All right, we can do some curtsy lunges now. So you can do this a couple different ways. Dumbbells, one variation. Smith machine is a great way to get started on them because it helps create more stability as you're getting used to the movement, because it is super challenging. So I'm gonna do it with a barbell today because we don't have a Smith machine here. But things to focus on as we're getting set up: keeping your core tight underneath the bar, pressing it right between my shoulder blades. Core tight the whole time when we're doing lunges, right? I'm gonna bring my foot back across my body, keeping my front knee again on top of my ankle, so it's never treading forward. Just staying top here and dropping my back knee to my heel. Glutes squeeze and engage the entire time.
Chest is up. She's keeping it nice and tall, not letting it drop down.